Hello there guys, and welcome back to Civilization 5, playing as England and hopefully going for a domination victory. If you remember at the last video, we were at war with the Incans and the Austrians, and then Spain declared on us at the last minute. The Spanish are currently blockading York, but I don't think that's going to be too much of a problem. We've lost all of our cargo ships, which is a real pain. And I decided that I was going to attack Graz, or Graz. I'm not exactly sure how it is pronounced, but either way, my decision was basically, what do I do with it once I take it? Do I destroy it, or do I keep it for myself? Now, obviously I'm going to take a happiness hit for taking it. If I try and raise it, if I try and destroy it, it's going to take 15 turns, because you lose one population per turn as it is raising. But it may well be worth keeping, because it does have a customs house there with it. Now, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that customs house is outside of the range of Vienna. And it would be quite nice to have that. The main reason I'm taking this out is it's going to be very difficult to hold Vienna if the Austrians are sending units at me from the north and from the south. At least if I wipe out Graz, then I've only got to take to cope with them attacking me from the south. And it means I've got another place where I can reinforce from. So I think I will actually end up keeping that for myself. One thing I do want to try and do before we continue on is just have a word with the Incans and just see if he's likely to peace out. No, he doesn't want to. It was worth a try. It doesn't really matter, but I just thought, as I decimated most of his fleet, if he was willing to go to peace, then we'd only have to be sort of covering ourselves from one direction. So I'm going to have to really do something to increase happiness in the Empire, because that's going to be our biggest problem. We're going to construct an archaeological dig site here, and what we will do once it is done is we will raise the artifact, because this dig site is never going to be within 3 hexes of one of our cities, so we can't work it. So we'll raise the artifact and put it in a museum, which we are currently building, and hopefully this will give us some more tourism and will hopefully save us from any cultural pressure later on, particularly when it gets to a point where ideologies start getting adopted by various countries. Obviously, we are now getting fired upon by Graz, which we expected to happen, so no big shock there. Hopefully he will survive, only just. But I should be able to finish him off, so we should be good there. Okay, so we have a few things to deal with. We have a unit promotion over here. Now, what I could do, combat strength against naval units would be excellent. May heal outside of friendly territory. That'd actually be quite nice. Give it... Oh! +1 range. Yes, certainly. Now we can actually do this. And they can't hit me back. Isn't that delightful? So what you've got to remember is the city always has a range of 2, which means the city can actually hit you from wherever I can hit the city. It doesn't matter if I'm outside of his borders. I have to be 2 hexes away to be able to hit the city, so he can hit me. This ship no longer does, so I can actually keep him there for a while. So, connection between Nottingham and our capital has been established. Obviously, there was someone blockading who has now gone. We did still have that Spanish ship over here near York, and indeed we still do, so we'll carry on attacking that. Can't quite take it out, but not too much of a problem. We had this other little skirmish going on down here. Now, if I attack with my privateer, well, I should still win. So we'll do that. And indeed we do. We get ourselves a free galleass. This caravel, I think I was bringing over here to sell, because it's a little bit redundant now, so I get 15 gold back for that. I might keep that galleass, but it will need to come back and be repaired. York is starving, which we already know about. Kathmandu, let's try and convert it. That's why we had those missionaries in the first place. Was that enough? Not quite. Still getting a lot of pressure from my civilization, but I think we're going to need another one before we can do anything there. We have ourselves a new privateer, so we're going to move over and get ready to be able to assault Graz as soon as possible. And let's just tell it to skip the rest of its turn. What else have we got? We've got this unit here, which we were using to chase off the Incans. So let's carry on doing as much as we can to annoy their navy. If he doesn't want to peace out, we will keep attacking him as much as possible. And then what we want to try and do is, if we can, get our Great Admiral down towards the front lines. He's in a bit of a bad position. We've got to sneak him past Ormus, but if we cut through Kathmandu, we should be okay. I don't really think Ormus has much, if anything, of a navy, so we should be okay. So that privateer has now fully healed, which is excellent. Obviously, the city's now shooting at a different ship because this one's now out of range. He's returning fire onto my ship of the line, which is doing absolutely nothing apart from giving me XP. So thank you very much. Kathmandu election rigged, which is good. Obviously, we don't want to lose Kathmandu. We are relying on a lot of their iron for our ships of the line. So, okay, we have a unit promotion to this guy. Let's give him more combat strength against naval units, and let's take that one out. Thank you very much. So, we know we can't steal from Sweden now, so what do we do with our spy that is in Stockholm? Is there any point moving him to any of the other cities, because we probably can't steal any tech? Do we have one in the Incans? No, we'll send him there. I mean, the chances are we can't steal from the Incans because they're not more technologically advanced than we are. I know we've already sent a spy there before and couldn't steal from them, but it is possible that they may have discovered a tech that we don't have in the meantime. York is going to continue to bombard that ship. Didn't quite take it out, but did a fair amount of damage. Edinburgh has finished the production of another privateer. That's probably enough privateers for the meantime. We do need a workboat, of course, because we need to deal with this tile here. So, I think... No, I'm actually going to sell this galleass, I think. And we'll heal up the privateer. So, Berlin is now out of its little... rebellion, and we can actually use it to produce things. So let us go for a Colosseum. We need to get happiness. Obviously now it's out of rebellion, we get a bit of happiness as well. Units need orders. Our privateer here, of course, which we need to get around the south coast. There we go, while that one heals up. So you can continue to fire on Graz. This might be enough to take it right down, actually. And indeed it is, so we'll send our privateer in. And Graz should be ours. Brilliant. So, what am I going to do with it? Well, I'm going to annex it. Now, that's put us into 5 unhappiness, which I knew would happen. Not an awful lot I can do about that, except... if I can afford it... Courthouse. I don't think we can do it yet because it is still in rebellion, but not a problem. Well, it is a problem because obviously we do take a penalty to our forces. So because we have 5 unhappiness, cities will only grow at a quarter of the normal speed while the Empire is unhappy, which is fine. Golden production output is reduced by 2% for each point of unhappiness, and the same penalty applies to units in combat. So 5 unhappiness times 2%. We take a 10% reduction to gold production and our damage. But we will get that sorted out, so it isn't too bad. We will sort that out. It's going to be a long time before Graz can do anything because obviously it's in resistance for 7 turns. So we're not going to bother queuing. Well, we will queue something up. We'll queue a monument up just so that it doesn't keep telling us that we need to do something there. And in the meantime... we will continue to bring our admiral through. We'll actually put him in Kathmandu, where he should be fairly safe, and we'll nip him through on the next turn. So he wants to do nothing for the rest of his turn there. We have a privateer here, which we are going to bring down, just in case they decide to try and bring anything up from this half of the map. I might actually use him to have a little bit of a scout and exploration down here. I don't think there's going to be a way through. I think that's going to be solid land, so we are going to need to take the rest of our units up top. So we'll go on to the next turn, and then what I'll do is I'll bring this ship of the line in here, and it will actually heal, because this is now our land. And obviously having these ships of the line here means we can defend against any land units that he tries to send in, or she tries to send in from Vienna in our direction. So Kathmandu desires Machu Picchu. Don't know if I'm going to be able to do that anytime soon. So we do have a promotion on a ship. We have a promotion to you. Let us give you... what should we give you? Let's try and give them all targeting 2 where we can. Let's get everybody else within the city limits so that they can get a bit of health. Let's sail you around this side so we can keep a bit of a better eye on Vienna and... ooh, Spanish trireme. How much movement do we have left? It's at full health. Vienna can't reach us from there. And the Spanish are upsetting me. So, have that. Okay. What I'm actually going to do then is move this guy round. Spanish caravel. How much movement do you have left? You know what? The Spanish have really annoyed me. Have that. Didn't quite sink it, but did a fair amount of damage to it. And then we'll move you around this. Obviously, we can cut through the city now, which is great as well. And you can stay there and heal up. So Edinburgh's now finished the workboat. Now, is there anything else useful we could do? We probably need some more workboats, actually. And Edinburgh might not be a bad place to do it. Yeah, we could do with a couple more. Is that in range? Probably not. No, neither of those are in range, so it's pointless doing anything else there. Is there anything we could build here for happiness? Not really. Could go for a public school. Obviously, having science would be quite nice. So I think that's what we will do here. Can't build any of the wonders. We could go for the Louvre. But we don't have an awful lot of production. So let's go for the public school here first. We'll take that workboat and set up here. Not that the food's going to be a great deal of help to us at the moment anyway. Although it's not giving me the option. Maybe we... Apparently we already have fishing boats there. Oh, we do. We already have fishing boats there and I couldn't see them because of the dodgy animation being so close to the coast. That's a bit of a shame and a bit of a waste. Not the end of the world. Can I use that workboat anywhere else? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I can use it up there. It'll probably get destroyed before he gets there, but we'll try it anyway. So this privateer we can now bring down. Being careful along the way that we don't run into any Incans, because for some reason they had some units down there last time. Now remember, our ships have got quite a lot of movement now. We've got whatever the base movement of our ships are. We get an extra 2 movement because we're playing as England. And we also get an extra 1 movement because we have exploration. And then hopefully, once we capture Vienna, we'll have the Great Lighthouse and have another movement. Now what I didn't check was I didn't check in Graz to see what buildings we have here. So we have the amphitheatre, which is nice. It gives us an extra culture there. We have a market, a windmill, and a workshop, which is all really nice. We have a forge, which is really nice. And we have a temple and a shrine. And that's quite good. No wonders, but I didn't really expect any to be at this city, because the AI always tends to just build them in their capital. Privateer is going to stay here and heal up. Now, I understand that in the last video, my privateer that I used to take over Berlin, I brought it out of the city before it was fully healed. I honestly thought it had healed up. I didn't realise that it hadn't healed up. Oh, we've got some more pearls there that we could get. Won't get a happiness bonus from it. 1, 2, 3. We've also got some fish there. So, yeah, building workboats isn't that much of a bad thing. Let's continue using York to destroy that. That's good. That's gone, which now means that York has re-established its connection, and we get some free gold for doing so. Now, what are we going to do with you? You have suffered some damage, but only a little. So what we're going to do is continue to really annoy the Incans. Hopefully we'll just be able to do enough damage to them that they will decide that it's worth going to peace. Although you do get to a point with the AI where they just decide that they're never going to peace out with you ever. At all. And that's it. So let's get our Great Admiral over here. There we go. Nice and safe. And we were just using this privateer. Oh, there might be a way around, actually. Ah, Salzburg. I actually think Salzburg is Austria's second city. And that would seem about right, because Vienna's at 19, Salzburg's at 18, and Graz was at 15. So, yeah. That's still out of range. So we're just having a look around, just to see what there is, uncover as much ground as possible. We should be relatively good. Ah, here we go, you can see now. The Austrians have started to bring units in towards Graz because they want to attempt to retake it. Okay, now he's fired at me, which is bad for him because it means he can't actually move on this turn, and I can return fire on the next turn. Okay, so we've got a few things that we can do here. Berlin demands ivory, can't do anything about that. York has now re-established its connection. Enemy units, yet we know about that. So We're going to continue to look around here. What a strange place to have a antiquities site. So Salzburg's very much down there on the bottom. We have this privateer here, which is going to... We could take out Salzburg and just completely annihilate the Austrians, but I don't think that's what I want to do. Now, they do have these units here, of course, so what I'm going to have to do to deal with that is bring some of my units in. You can stay here because you're healing up, but you should easily be able to destroy these lancers. Very nearly, but not quite. The ones in the water aren't too much of an issue, though. The ones on the land potentially are. We don't do a lot of damage against land units. No, we don't quite have the range to get you. We'll take you out then. That's one unit less that we have to worry about. So, let us continue to attack the Incans. So another ship sunk. Some more XP and some more gold. We should be able to kill these workers before we can do anything with them as well. Our great admiral, of course, who we need to get over here as quickly as we can and as safely as we can. You watch, you'll get all the way there and then you'll get annihilated. So our archaeologists have... this is a bit of a pain. No slots available for great works of art. Now, I honestly thought I would have had one by now. Now, that's a bit of a pain, because I don't actually... Can I just not lift the archaeology now and save it for later? I've never had this happen to me before. Can't just end the turn, sadly. Oh, I can. That's good. So we'll just end the turn and just leave those guys waiting until the museum is completed, and then we'll be able to do that. So at least there is a way around that. Just hit enter, and it will end the turn. So Genghis Khan is going to war with various city-states. Hardly surprising. Still wants me to choose the archaeology, but the museum still hasn't finished yet, so I can't do anything about that. We've still got these guys close by, of course, which we need to deal with. And we've got another one in the water there. Let's deal with the one in the water, because we can stop that from getting away. This Lancer here has absolutely no chance whatsoever of being able to take the city, but we are definitely going to do as much damage to it as possible. And in fact, what we're also going to do, before we do anything else, is we're going to nip over here and we're going to take out this Spanish caravel if we can. Oh, I didn't completely destroy it. That is a bit of a shame. Let's have a quick look, see if there's anything else that we need to do. If there's any buildings that have, any cities that have completed their construction. Doesn't look like it is, so we will skip the rest of the turn. I know I have units that can move, but... Can we not skip the turn? Not letting me do it now. I must have units that need moving. Yeah, you are healing up, so that is fine. Our Great Admiral has movement remaining, so you need to come over here. Our Privateer has finished healing, I think, so we'll skip the turn. This Privateer, where were we heading with you? I think we'll just carry on bringing you around the top. This Privateer is still scouting around down here. Only a minor victory against Caravel. Mind you, we do have our Empire Unhappiness, which is giving us a bit of a negative to that. We should be able to sneak through here without taking damage from either of the cities. So that is what we'll do. Ship of the line, what are we going to do with you? Are we going to take out one of your units? I think we'll just... It would inconvenience him if we took out his worker, but I think we're just going to keep taking out his navy because that'll help defend us. No more units left that need movement, so if we hit enter, it should end the turn. I say it should end the turn. But it is not, which is most annoying. Okay. What have we got? Choose archaeology. I don't want to choose archaeology because I don't have anywhere to... That is really, really annoying. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to Edinburgh, and I'm going to purchase a museum. And now if I choose archaeology, I can create an artifact. There's no point creating a landmark because you need to be able to work the landmark in order to get the benefits from it. So at least now I can create an artifact. And we get that problem sorted, done, and out of the way. And go on to the next turn. I didn't want to spend the money. I wanted to save it for a courthouse, but... Was that my admiral killed? I think that was my admiral killed. I told you, didn't I? I said he's going to get all the way there, and he's going to get killed. Come on, hurry up, game. I'm curious now to find out what got killed. Okay, can't steal from the Incans. Right. A unit was killed. It was my admiral. The Spanish came out of nowhere and killed my admiral. Fine. We'll do that then. Now, this ship is a little bit too far out of the way for me to hit. But what I can do is get units through there. Well, it's not a ship, of course. It's a melee unit, but... And you are sank. There we go. So, let's get this privateer through. Very annoying. Let's have a look how close we are to getting another admiral. If we go into our additional information and go into our military overview, we can see down here how close we are to getting a great admiral or a great general. We're actually quite a way away from getting a great admiral. We're only 111 XP in out of 400, so we need 400 XP to get a great admiral. Bit of a shame, but not the end of the world. At least we got rid of them. Obviously, one turn too late. The museum has now completed in London. Let's try and get the Louvre if we can. It's unlikely that we're going to do it, although with Austria being at war with us, it might very well work in our favour. York will... Do we have fishing boats here? No, we don't, but we do need the happiness, so we're going to go for... Is there anything we can do more quickly than a zoo? No, so we're going to go for the zoo. Now... There was something else that I was meaning to do, and I can't remember what it was. We're just going to get all of these ships that have movement left to heal up at the moment. Privateer can stay in the city for the time being. And you can just guard there. You shall continue your attack on the Incans. And then we will withdraw and get ourselves some health back. So as you can see, we're only getting 3 XP for that kill. So we needed, we had 111 XP towards getting an admiral. We've just gained another 3, but for some reason we're only at 113. So I'm not sure. Maybe it's rounding up or rounding down for some reason there. But that's basically how that system works. So you can stay there. I don't see any point moving closer to Vienna at the moment and just getting shot to pieces for nothing. You can go on to alert as well. So let's go on to the next turn. Ah, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to move my spy out of the Incan territory, which I didn't. So what it may well be worth doing, it would be very nice if Genghis stopped doing that. But never mind, at least Genghis is actually technically a friend, so if he does remove Babylos, that's one city-state less that I've currently got to worry about being at war with. But what I may need to do is actually go around and have a look at some of the other city-states and see if there's any of them that's worth putting a spy in with the intent of getting some of their resources. There's a good old war going on here between Babylos and the Mongols. You have an automatic faith purchase. Okay, so it would be nice to get the iron here, but almost don't have it yet. And of course, we can't do it with anybody we're at war with, which is a real pain. Most of these cities are friendly with Austria because that's the kind of game that they play. Nothing particularly useful here except spices, which we could potentially have. What other city-states have we got around? Most of them are at war with us, so... It'd be nice if Zurich was on our side. Kaisel's at war with us. Melbourne's at war with us. And Melbourne have iron. So I think what I'll actually do is we will take our spy from the Incans. And we... Where did I say I was going to move to? Melbourne, that was it. So we are going to move you to Melbourne if we can. And hopefully we can rig their elections. So, you're going to heal up. You might as well come down here and we will put you on to alert mode. Wow, here's a bit of an army, although they are just little caravels. This could be potentially worrying if they gang up on me. What I'm going to do here, though, is I'm going to move... one hex... Wow, that's a lot of boats. Yep, let's move away. I'd sooner be at full health, so we'll come back down to Berlin. Just to be safe. You're going to heal up. Caravel, we will sell you. 3 gold. You're now fully healed. So we will bring you around the bottom here. Should be safe enough. Unhappiness is now down to -6, which is a bit of a pain. So we certainly need to sort that out. You want to give me gold per gems. Would you give me 4 gold for them? No. So you only want to give me 3. I suppose 3 is better than nothing. We do, of course, have the copper and silk, so we are getting some happiness from that. Once Graz is out of its resistance, things will be a lot better for us. And it's only a couple of turns away, so don't have to worry too much about that. We do have a bit of a penalty at the moment, but we are sort of healing up, so we will dig ourselves out of that hole. We'll continue to move this privateer around. Water looks fairly clear in this direction. What have we got? We've got another privateer here that is fully healed. I think we can leave you there for now. You are also fully healed. So we're going to start moving some of these ships forward so they're going to be in a position to start dealing with Vienna. And you can wait out the rest of your turn. You are going to come down into Berlin just so you can heal up. And we have our missionary, which we are going to... No point trying to go into Zurich because we'll just get annihilated. So we're going to come down and try and flip Kathmandu again. So let's just keep our eye on down here just to see what's happening. And we will go to next turn. Our fishing boat has arrived. That'll give Graz a bit more growth once it's up and running. So let's create some fishing boats there. Give us gold as well, of course. There are a few other places that I could build fishing boats, particularly up near Berlin. So we'll definitely be doing that at some point. Vienna also have a great merchant there as well. And they're building a few more ships. And they've given me a free cargo ship's plunder. It's very nice of them. Okay, so it is my turn. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to move on top of their cargo ship and plunder. Thank you very much for the 200 gold. Move back out. Now, which one of these ships has the +1 range? You do. So if we actually move you to there, you can safely plonk away at Vienna without actually taking any hits back. So let's continue to do that. And we'll put privateer this side of you just to protect you from any ships coming from that direction. We'll put a privateer this side of you to protect you from any ships coming from this direction. We're going to move you closer to the party. We're also going to move you closer to the party. In fact... Right, how much movement do you have left? We could move you there. And you'd be out of range, wouldn't you? Yes, you would. But we could move you there. And you could take a shot at Vienna. We could move you to... See, Vienna's quite hard to get at because it's in this little sort of inlet of water, which means it's quite difficult to get ships in. But we've got 3 ships now that can fire on Vienna. And we're not too far away from our own territory, so it's quite easy for us to retreat and gain extra health where we need to. This privateer, I think we're safe from the north actually. I'm going to bring this privateer down here because I know they have this caravel. So we're going to go in. We'll have a minor victory. Yeah, only just. I may have to retreat from that one shortly, but we'll see how that goes. Of course, we do have 2 privateers, so we could attack with both of them. We do have a 3rd privateer up here, of course, so we've always got one we can bring down for the capture of Vienna later on. And in fact, we're going to have a 4th privateer up here very, very shortly. Look how much movement we have per turn. It is absolutely ridiculous. So let's continue moving these missionaries across. They're almost at Kathmandu. Go on to the next turn. Probably got time for another turn or 2 before the end of this video. And the Mongolians have now captured Babylos. And the camera is glitching out. And the Germans are denouncing us. Not that they're really in any position to do so. Obviously, we do have to be very careful of Vienna here, because Vienna can do an amazing amount of damage to us. So we have to be very, very careful. Now, we do have a lot more iron now. So let us promote some of these ships. So what shall we have here? Visibility range, combat strength when attacking cities is really what we want. We also want to try and finish you off if we can, which we probably won't manage. But we did. The other one has also been promoted. Again, Coastal Raider. What I want to do is get you up here to heal, because you're the one I'm probably going to use to raid it. Choose production. Graz has now finished its monument. Let's get the courthouse going, because the quicker we get that, the quicker we will rid ourselves of some of the unhappiness. +3 production in all coastal cities would be really nice. +1 happiness for each harbour, seaport and lighthouse. Yes, please. That instantly takes us from -6 to +4. Thank you very much. We are now out of our unhappiness issue. We've got to be careful here with this ship of the line, because it can't afford to take too much more damage from Vienna. This one's fine. It can stay there because it can actually hit Vienna from where it is. We will also attack with this one here. And I think we can afford one more attack. I don't think Vienna can finish it off on this turn. So we will do that. Unit needs orders. You are going to stay there and repair. You are going to cut through and come over here in case we need you. And see out the rest of your turn doing nothing. Missionaries are going to get to Kathmandu. Incan scouts here, interestingly enough. Hopefully the Incans won't attack my missionaries, but there's every chance that they could do. Unfortunately, my trebuchet can't set up and do anything from there. Neither can my archers. No one can really get close enough, but I think what I should probably do is I'll put my archers in Nottingham. Of course, we'll get the culture and happiness bonus from them being there. So let's go on to the next turn. I'm particularly interested to know what these guys are actually going to do. Although, of course, what you've got to remember is Kathmandu is my ally, which means that they're technically at war with the Incans as well. So if the Incans do go into their territory, they should get absolutely annihilated. All of a sudden, he wants to go to peace with me. He wants to give me gold. He wants to give me pearls, spices, cotton, horses. Yeah, why would I ever not? Why would I ever not accept that? My happiness is now +16. I have all the horses that I could ever want. I have iron. We're going to make I had the iron before. We're going to make a lot more in terms of ships of the line. So Berlin has now finished its Colosseum as well, which is great because that means we get even more happiness. We are going to produce a monument for the culture. After the monument, what we will probably do is we will add a... we're going for the shrine. Then we will probably get a zoo up and running. And then probably a public school. Might change my mind later, but got to remember Berlin was outputting a lot of science for us. These ships of the line, yeah, we definitely need to retreat you because you are in relatively bad shape. We're also going to retreat you and heal. We are going to retreat you and sell you. So let's just get you up here. You two ships will continue to fire on Vienna. And obviously, Vienna's now going to fire at this ship because this is the only ship in range. But by the time this ship takes enough damage for it to need to move, which is 2 or 3 turns, then this one will probably be repaired and I'll be able to bring it back and continue firing with that one. This ship of the line is going to stay up here because it needs to protect Berlin anyway, so we'll just put that on alert. Even though we're at peace with the Incans, they could still very well, after the 10 turns or so, redeclare war on us. And of course we have this privateer. We could start moving our privateers in and attacking the cities, but we would lose half of our health and do hardly any damage in return, so it's very pointless in doing that. But I will move these privateers over here because it'll give our ranged ships a little bit of protection from any units that try and approach us from that direction. Kathmandu once again trying to spread our religion. Successful. So what we should probably do now is consider trying to move this guy over to Graz. So let's get him on the move when he can. And that's pretty much the end of that turn, so I can't do an awful lot else there. We're still second on the scoreboard. We are 70 points behind Maria Theresa, Austria. And once we have captured Vienna, we should jump to the top because we will get the points for having all of these lovely wonders which are within our city. And this patch of land will give us a lot of boost to our science and production and everything else. We do have a spy in Vienna, actually. So if we go to our espionage view and we click on view, we can actually see exactly what's going on here in Vienna. We can see that they have an artist guild. Now, these are obviously national buildings. You don't get national buildings when you take them over. But there is a chance we could get things like public schools and universities and anything that isn't a national building. Coffee House is their unique building. I don't think we get that. But look at all the wonders we're going to get. We're going to get Alhambra. So we'll get an extra 1 culture per turn from having that. Newly trained units will receive drill. We'll get Angawat, which means we'll get an extra 1 culture. And culture and gold costs of acquiring new tiles in cities reduced by 25% in every city. East India Company, which will give us a big boost to our gold. Forbidden Palace, which is extra culture, and we get 2 extra delegates in World Congress, which isn't that useful for us. Globe Theatre, which we'll get 2 culture per turn, and we'll actually get 2 great works of writing because they're currently in there. We'll get the Great Lighthouse, which will give us extra culture, an extra great merchant point, and our naval military units will get an extra +1 movement and +1 sight. We'll get Himeji Castle, another 1 culture, combat strength for units. Leaning Tower of Pisa, more culture. National College, which is a national wonder, so we won't get that. National Epic, we won't get. Notre Dame, +10 happiness, +4 faith, thank you very much. Oracle, +3 culture. Palace, obviously, is the main palace. Pyramids, +1 culture. Red Fort, +1 culture. There's a lot of stuff that we're going to get. We'll get this museum, of course. Now, Great Works buildings, you still have a 66 or 67% chance of capturing them intact, but if they have a great work in them, there's 100%. So as it stands, we'll get the museum, and we'll also get the great work that's there as well. And then you've got a 67% chance of capturing everything else. So getting this city is going to be a massive boost. Massive boost, and that's bound to put me at the top of the scores. And this is the reason why Austria is so high in the scoreboard. So there you go, guys. I hope you're still enjoying the series, and on the next video we'll probably be taking out is it Strasbourg? Names, remember, Vienna even, just Strasbourg. So yes, on the next video we'll be taking out Vienna, and hopefully that should put us in a very strong position to mop up the remaining civilizations. So I'll see you guys next time, and until then, goodbye for now.